While I was dying in the ICU at 34, my mom sent me 81 texts demanding money. My sister mocked me publicly. My grandfather saw everything, cut them off, and left me his $2.8 million estate. Can you imagine lying in an ICU bed, hooked up to monitors keeping your heart alive, and a nurse tells you, your mother said she'd figure out when to come? That's what happened to me. It was 3:14 p.m. on a Wednesday. I was 34 years old, and I'd had a heart attack. My coworkers found me slumped on the conference room floor during a quarterly review meeting. Your mother sounds busy, the nurse continued, with that practiced, sympathetic expression. But I'm sure she'll come when she figures out when. Not, is he okay? Not, which hospital? No. Just, figure out when to visit. I stared at the ceiling tiles, counting the holes. Anything to distract me from the monitor beeping next to me, and the tube still in my throat making it impossible to swallow. My phone was on the bedside table, 61 unread messages. I hadn't looked at any of them. But on day 4, I finally checked Instagram. My sister, Theodore, had shared a photo. There she was, with our parents and my younger sister, Kennedy, at Lake Michigan. 8 hours ago. All 4 of them smiling. Picnic blanket, wine bottles, and a golden retriever puppy in the background. The caption read, "Family Day without tragedy." She'd tagged me. They went to the lake. While I was fighting for my life in the ICU. And declared it a family day free of tragedy. Something inside me, something I'd been preserving for 9 long years, finally died. Let me clarify. Since I was 23, I'd been working at the family bank. Not the kind of bank with tellers and vaults. No, I was the bank. I landed my first real job as a data analyst with Midwest Financial Group, making $52,000 a year. Nothing remarkable, but it was consistent. Reliable. More than anyone else in my family had. My father, Gregory, worked construction, whenever it was available, which wasn't often. He spent more time moaning about immigrants taking jobs than actually looking for work. My mother, Diane, handled medical billing from home part-time, when she felt like it, which, again, wasn't often. Theodore, 31, was a marketing coordinator for a business that always felt on the brink of either bankruptcy or sudden success. She lived her life as if it were the latter. Kennedy, 27, was searching for herself, which meant working 3 days a week at a yoga studio and expecting others to pay for her path of self-discovery. And me? I was Wesley. The responsible one. The one with the steady job, solid credit, and an absolute inability to say no to family. It started small. Wesley, could you cover mom's car insurance this month? Just till dad's check comes in, $350. I could afford it. Then, Wesley, Theodore's transmission failed. She needs $1,450 for repairs. Can you lend it to her? Loan. That's the word they used. But loans are paid back. These were gifts, disguised as loans. Wesley, Kennedy needs first month's rent plus security deposit. Can you co-sign? $2,100, plus my name on a lease. Each month, a new request. Every month, I said yes. By the time I was 30, I had set up automatic payments. Theodore's car insurance, $210 a month. Mom's health insurance, $395 a month. Dad's credit card minimum, $310 a month. Kennedy's rent, $1,050 a month. Plus the occasional emergency. The "we'll pay you back next month" requests never materialized. The one-time favors had become commonplace. I tracked it once. In 6 years, I had given them $148,000. Not loaned. Given. My therapist, Dr. Lauren Castillo, with 21 years of experience and an office in Lincoln Park, had a phrase for it. She called it financial abuse. They are taking advantage of your sense of obligation, she'd said. They are family, but it does not give them the right to drain you. Do they need assistance? Or have they just realized you'll always say yes? I stopped attending therapy after that. Too unpleasant. Too true. The heart attack struck without warning. I was presenting Q3 statistics to senior management, discussing client retention metrics. Then my left arm went numb. Then my chest felt like someone was standing on it. Then the floor came up to meet me, fast. I awoke 42 hours later in the ICU. Dr. Andrew Park, head of cardiology at Northwestern Memorial, a 20-year medical veteran, stood next to my bed. "You had an acute myocardial infarction," he stated. "A widowmaker. You're quite lucky. Your coworker began CPR immediately." A what? A massive heart attack. The left anterior descending artery was entirely occluded. We inserted 2 stents. You will need to take medication for the rest of your life and make significant lifestyle adjustments. I'm 34. I understand, which is why we're doing further testing. This should not happen to someone your age unless there are serious underlying causes. The testing revealed chronic stress, raised cortisol levels, high blood pressure. I hadn't realized I had any of it. My body had been screaming at me for years, but I had ignored it. Do you have a high-stress job? Dr. Park asked. That's okay. Normal office things. Family stress. I didn't respond. He wrote a notation in his chart. You must identify and remove the stressors. Another incident like this might be fatal. The nurse called my emergency contacts on the first day. My mother responded. According to the notes, she told the nurse that they will be at the lake this weekend. I'll find out when we can meet. It was Wednesday morning. I discovered later that they didn't leave the lake until Sunday night. Day 5 began at 6:47 a.m. My phone exploded. Between 6:47 and 8:52 a.m., there were 81 missed calls. Dad, 26 calls. Mom, 21 calls. Theodore, 24 calls. Kennedy, 10 calls. Text messages streamed in. Please call me right now. Dad. This is urgent. Dad. Dad, we need you. Respond now. Mom. Wesley, please pick up the phone. Mom. This is vital. Mom. Why aren't you responding? Theodore. Dad says you are ignoring us. Theodore. Wesley. Answer the phone. Theodore. This is serious. Not a single message asked if I was all right. Not a single message acknowledged the heart attack. Only, we need you. Respond now. I watched as the messages came in. As my pulse rate climbed. The monitor next to me began beeping more quickly. Then I did something I had never done before. I called someone else. Grandpa Thorne came 51 minutes later. He was 88 years old, a former electrician who had been retired for 22 years and still drove himself around in a 2006 Honda Accord with 312,000 miles. He lived in a tiny house in Oak Park that he purchased for $34,000 in 1975 and is now worth $720,000. He stepped into my ICU room, saw me hooked up to all the equipment, and his jaw tightened. Do they come? He asked. I shook my head. They called 81 times this morning. They didn't ask how I was. They just said they needed me. He pulled up a chair, sat down, and looked at me for a long time. Are you done, Wesley? Are you done with them? Are you finished? I thought about the lake. The Instagram post. 9 years of automatic payments and emergency loans. Being treated like an ATM, yes, I said. I am done. Good. Now, let us break them. Grandpa took out his phone. Banking applications. Passwords. Give these to me. Grandpa, you're addicted to machines. I'm handling this. Passwords. I gave them to him. He opened Chase first and saw the monthly payments. In approximately 10 seconds, his expression shifted from neutral to enraged. Jesus Christ, Wesley. You have been bleeding for years. He scrolled through. Theodore's car insurance, $210 per month for 4 years. Mom's health insurance, $395 each month for 3 years. Dad's credit card payment, $310 each month for 6 years. Kennedy's rent, $1,050 per month for 2 years. This is more than $3,000 per month. You've been paying them $41,000 each year. They needed to grow up. He began tapping. I am canceling these. They will notice. That is the point. He canceled each automated payment, subscription, and recurring charge that my family received, one by one. Cancel. 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 Then he opened Venmo. I looked at the history. Thousands of requests. Emergency, please. That were anything but emergency. Theodore needs $400 for a vet bill. Dad's car registration is due. Need $180. Mom, we're running out on groceries. Need $200. Kennedy's electric bill has passed due. Need $250. They've been doing this twice per week, Grandpa said. Every week. For years. He took screenshots of everything and forwarded them to himself. Documentation. What are you doing? Creating a case. You will see why. Theodore sent the first SMS 15 minutes later. What the F did you do? My insurance was just cancelled. Then, Mom, Wesley. Why was my card declined? Then, Dad, call me right away. What did you do with the credit card payment? Then Kennedy, my rent is going to bounce. Fix it. Grandpa watched as the messages came in. He handed me my phone. Block them. All of them. I can't just, yes, you can. They went to the lake while you were nearly dead. Block them. My palm shook when I opened the settings. Theodore, blocked. Mom, blocked. Dad, blocked. Kennedy, blocked. The stillness was immediate. No more buzzing. No more alerts. Just me and the monitor beeping, with Grandpa sitting there like a sentinel. "They'll come here," I said. "No, they will not. I'm asking your nurse to add them to a restricted list. No visits without your explicit permission. You can't do it." "I can do it. I'm just making sure it occurs." He walked out. Returned 15 minutes later. "Done. They are on the list. Security has photos from your Facebook. They attempt to enter, they are escorted out." Dr. Andrew Park came to the doorway. "Mr. Thorne Callahan, may I speak to you?" Grandpa stepped out. They spoke for 7 minutes. When Grandpa returned, he had a terrible countenance. "The doctor says your stress levels are extremely high. That persistent psychological pressure can lead to heart attacks in young individuals. He is documenting everything." "Why?" "Because I asked him to." Day 6, the voicemails began. They couldn't SMS me anymore, but they could leave voice messages. Grandpa and I listened to them together. "Mom, Wesley, honey. I am not sure what is going on, but we need to chat. You made a mistake with your bank accounts. Everything bounced. We need you to repair it. Call me back." "Dad, this is not hilarious, son. I'm not sure what happened, but you need to undo whatever you did. People are calling. My credit card company is calling. Fix it." "Theodore, are you serious now? Are you really going to cut us off after everything we've done for you, including raising you? Call me back or I'll swear to God." "Kennedy, Wesley, I don't comprehend what's going on. My landlady claims my rent has bounced. I'm going to get evicted. I will be homeless." "Is that what you desire? For your sister to be homeless? Please call me." Grandpa erased them all. "She won't be homeless," he said. "Her parents own a house they cannot afford. That isn't your problem anymore." On day 7, they escalated. Dad arrived at the hospital around 2:15 p.m. Security stopped him in the lobby. Later, the nurse told me that he tried to argue. He said he was my father. Said he had the right to visit me. Security presented him the restricted guest list before escorting him out. He dialed Grandpa's phone. Grandpa responded on speaker so I could hear. "Thorne, what the hell did you do?" "I did not accomplish anything. Wesley made a few decisions. He isn't thinking clearly. He recently suffered a heart attack. He is taking medication. He lacks the necessary qualifications to make such decisions. His physicians say he's completely competent." "Then you are manipulating him. You have turned him against us?" "I did not have to turn him against you. You achieved that by going to the lake while he was dying." Silence. We did not know. It was not like that. It was exactly like that. You preferred a picnic over your son. Now, he prefers himself over you. You cannot do this. We'll get lawyers. Will. Grandpa hangs up. "They'll try something legal," he said. "I need to make a call." He stepped out and returned 20 minutes later with a business card. Victoria Langford, estate attorney with 32 years of experience. She is coming tomorrow. Victoria Langford arrived on day 8. Late 50s. Silver hair pulled back. Briefcase that likely cost more than my monthly salary. She sat in my hospital room and took out a legal pad. "Your grandfather explained the circumstances. I need to hear it from you." I told her everything. The 9 years of payments, the automatic withdrawals, the loans that were never paid off, the lake trip during my heart attack, and the Instagram post. She took notes and did not interrupt. When I finished, she looked up. "How much do you think you gave them in total?" "At least $148,000. Possibly more. They haven't paid back anything." "Do you have any documentation?" Grandpa took out his phone. Screenshots of all transactions over the last 6 years. Bank statements, Venmo history, everything. Patricia reviewed them. Her expression did not change, but her pen moved more quickly. "Mr. Callahan, I need to ask you something directly. Do you believe you can make sound financial and legal decisions?" "Yes." "Have you been forced or manipulated by your grandfather?" "No. He is assisting me in carrying out tasks that I should have completed years ago." She jotted down notes. "Good. Because what I'm about to tell you is that your family is likely to seek conservatorship over you." "What?" My chest felt tight. The monitor began beeping faster. "Breathe," Dr. Andrew Park said from the doorway. He must have been listening. "She's correct. I have seen it before. Family members attempting to control patients who have had medical events." Patricia nodded. "Doctor, please provide a written statement regarding Mr. Callahan's cognitive function and decision-making capacity." "That's something I can do. I'll have it ready in 3 hours. I will also need statements from nursing staff regarding his behavior and lucidity." "Done." She turned back to face me. We plan to file preemptive documentation with the court. Statements from your doctors. Financial records demonstrating the pattern of exploitation. And evidence that you're acting rationally and in your own best interests. What if they still file? Then we fight it. And we will win. But we're going to make sure they don't even have a hearing. Day 9, they filed a petition for emergency conservatorship. Filed by Gregory Callahan, Diane Callahan, and Theodore Callahan. The petition claimed I was incapacitated due to a heart attack and medication. That I was making irrational financial decisions. That I was being manipulated by an elderly relative. That I was a danger to myself due to mental instability. Victoria Langford had predicted it. She already had our response ready. Filed within 3 hours. Statement from Dr. Andrew Park, Mr. Callahan is fully competent and capable of making medical and financial decisions. Statement from Dr. Lauren Castillo, my therapist, patient has been under significant financial stress from family members for years. Recent decisions appear healthy and protective. This isn't a man in crisis. This is a man finally defending himself. Statement from Nurse Supervisor Reynolds, patient is alert, oriented, and demonstrating sound judgment. Financial records showing 9 years of exploitation. Copy of the Instagram post from the lake. Victoria Langford filed a counter-motion to dismiss the petition as frivolous and malicious. The hearing was set for 4 days later. The night before the hearing, Grandpa came to visit at 8:30 p.m. He looked older than I'd ever seen him. Tired. He sat down in the chair next to my bed and was quiet for a long moment. I need to tell you something, he finally said. Something I should have told you years ago. He pulled out an envelope. Old. Worn at the edges. I've been watching them drain you since you were 23. Every time you helped them, I wrote it down. Every dollar. Every favor. Every time they took without asking. He opened the envelope. Pages of notes. Handwritten. Dates, amounts, details. March 2016, Wesley pays Theodore's car insurance, $210. She promises to take over payments next month, never does. July 2016, Wesley loans Dad $3,200 for emergency dental work, never repaid. October 2017, Wesley co-signs Kennedy's apartment lease, ends up paying 14 months of rent when she can't find work. Page after page. Years of documentation. Grandpa, why? Because I knew this day would come. I knew eventually you'd reach your breaking point, and I knew they'd fight back. So, I kept records. This must have taken 9 years. I've been documenting for 9 years. I looked at him. At this old man who'd spent nearly a decade quietly protecting me. There's more, he said. I'm 88. I have a heart condition, atrial fibrillation. I'm on blood thinners. My doctor says I've got maybe 5 good years left if I'm lucky. My throat clenched. My estate is worth about $2.8 million. The house. Properties I bought in the 70s and 80s. Savings. Investments. I never showed it off. Lived simple, but it's there. Your father calls me every month, asks about my plans, wants to know about the will. Theodore visited twice last year, talking about family legacy and making sure everyone's taken care of. They think when I die, they'll split it. 4 ways. You. Theodore. Kennedy. Your parents. That's what my old will said. He pulled out another document. Last month, I changed it. Everything goes to you. Every penny. Every property. They get nothing. I could not breathe. I'm telling you this because tomorrow at the hearing, I'm going to tell them, too. Why? Because they need to know what they've lost. They must understand that their greed cost them not only you, but everything they owned. The hearing started at 10 a.m. Cook County Courthouse. Judge Eleanor Langford presided. I was able to attend via video link from the hospital, Dr. Andrew Park present with me. So was Victoria Langford. On the other side were my parents, Theodore, and their attorney, Bradley Hargrove, who appeared to have been practicing law since 1987 and had not updated his approach since. Judge Eleanor Langford, having served 29 years on the bench, reviewed the filings, petition, response, documentation. She said, Mr. Hargrove, I reviewed your conservatorship petition. What evidence do you have that Mr. Callahan is incapacitated? Mr. Callahan, Your Honor, suffered a massive heart attack recently. He's on several medications. He is making decisions that are entirely out of character. He is cutting off his family financially, refusing to see them, and acting hostile toward those who care about him. Dr. Park, the judge turned to the video feed, what's your medical opinion on Mr. Callahan's cognitive function? Mr. Callahan is completely competent. His current medications have no effect on his cognitive abilities. He's alert, focused, and demonstrates sound judgment. His decisions are in line with self-preservation and healthy boundary setting. Dr. Castillo, Judge Langford looked at another document. You've been treating Mr. Callahan's anxiety. Can you speak about his mental state? My former therapist was on a separate video link. Your Honor, I treated Mr. Callahan for 2 years. His anxiety stems directly from financial exploitation by family members. His most recent decisions are the healthiest I've seen him make. This isn't a man in crisis. This is a man finally defending himself. The judge returned to Hargrove. Do you have any medical evidence to back up your claim of incapacity? No. Are there any witnesses to erratic behavior? His own grandfather admits that he helped him cancel, his grandfather helped him set boundaries. That is not evidence of incapacity. Judge Langford shuffled papers. Ms. Langford, you have filed a lot of documentation about financial exploitation. Do you want to speak about that? Victoria stood. We have 9 years of bank records that show Mr. Callahan gave his family more than $148,000. They repaid nothing. When he was hospitalized for a potentially fatal heart attack, his family went to a lake and posted about it on social media, tagging him. They didn't return for 4 days. They only contacted him after the automatic payment stopped. This petition does not express concern for Mr. Callahan. It's about regaining access to his funds. Judge Langford examined my parents and Theodore. Is this accurate? Did you not see your son for 4 days following his heart attack? My mother began crying. We weren't sure how serious it was. The hospital called you, they diagnosed a massive heart attack. What part of that did not seem serious? We had plans. You had a picnic, the judge's voice was icy. While your son was in the intensive care unit. I see. My dad attempted to speak. Your Honor, we adore our son. We are concerned. You are concerned about his bank account. This petition is denied. In addition, I am issuing a restraining order. Petitioners are not permitted to contact Mr. Callahan directly or indirectly for 120 days. Ms. Langford, if they violate the order, file contempt charges. The gavel came down. My family sat there, stunned. Victoria smiled. And Grandpa, who was sitting in the back of the courtroom, stood up. Your Honor, he said. Can I address the court? Judge Langford seemed surprised. You are not a party to this case. I am Thorne Callahan, Wesley's grandfather. I'd like to make a statement that speaks to their motivations. Go ahead. Grandpa moved to the front of the courtroom. He took out a document. This is my last will and testament, which I filed and had notarized with Langford Estate Law last month. I am 88 years old. My estate is valued at around $2.8 million. I watched my father's eyes widen on the video screen. For years, my family believed they would inherit this estate. My son, Gregory, daughter-in-law, Diane, and granddaughters, Theodore and Kennedy. They've asked about it, hinted at it, and planned around it. Grandpa held up the document. As of last month, they inherited nothing. Everything goes to Wesley. Every property. Dollar. Investment. Yield. 0. The courtroom became silent. I'm stating this publicly so that the court can understand why they filed this petition. It is not about Wesley's health. It's about regaining control of his finances so they can continue to exploit him, as well as attempting to influence my estate decisions by demonstrating that they're looking after him. Judge Eleanor Langford leaned forwards. Mr. Callahan, are you sure you want to make this statement public? Absolutely. They need to know how much their greed cost them. My mom stood up. Her expression was pure fury. You can't do it. That's family money. This is my money. I invested it. I get to decide where it goes. And it will go to the only person in this family who has never asked for it. Theodore screamed now. We are family. You cannot just, the judge banged her gavel. Sit down, Miss Callahan, or I will hold you in contempt. Grandpa turned to face them. You visited the lake while he was dying. You called 811 times because you needed money, but not once to see if he was alive. That is who you are. Everyone knows it now. He stepped out of the courtroom. 4 months later, I was released from the hospital with new medications, a cardiac rehab plan, and a completely new life. Grandpa had relocated me to his guest room until I was back on my feet. Victoria Langford assisted me in dissolving the co-signed lease with Kennedy, separating my name from all financial obligations to my family, closing joint accounts, and making a clean break. My parents attempted to reach out twice through cousins. Both times I ignored it. Theodore wrote a 10-page letter about how I had destroyed the family, how Grandpa had poisoned me against them, and how I owed them everything they had sacrificed to raise me. I threw it away after the first page. Kennedy called from a new number, crying about how she was struggling and needed a little assistance. I hung up. Dr. Andrew Park was satisfied with my recovery. Your stress levels have decreased significantly. Blood pressure is gradually returning to normal levels. This is what happens when you eliminate toxic stressors. Toxic stressors. That's one way to describe family. Sometimes, family is the most toxic force in our lives. 7 months after the heart attack, Grandpa summoned me to the living room. We need to discuss the will. Grandpa, I don't want to. Shut up and listen. I won't die tomorrow. But I am 88. We need to have this conversation. He spread documents across the coffee table. Everything is about trust. You are the sole beneficiary. When I die, you will inherit the house, which is currently worth approximately $720,000. 3 rental properties in Oak Park are worth an additional $1.15 million. Investment accounts total around $820,000. The total estate value is $2.8 million, minus estate taxes. I know you don't want to talk about it, but you need to understand something. This money is not about getting rich. It's about freedom. It's about never having to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Do you understand? I nodded. When I pass away, they will try to contest my will. Victoria has already planned for it. You will win, but it will be ugly. Are you ready for that? I do not know. That is honest. Good. 14 months after my heart attack, I was back at work. Different position. They had moved me to a less stressful department. Better hours, lower pressure. I accepted the pay cut willingly. I'd restarted therapy with a new therapist, Dr. Daniel Mercer. 17 years of experience, specializing in family trauma. How do you feel about this arrangement? He asked during one session. I don't know. I sometimes feel guilty. As if I should reach out, or that I'm being cruel. Are you? No, I do not think so. But they are my family. Family should be a source of support, not exploitation. What they did to you was not love. It was use. I know, but it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. That is what makes it brave. My mother died 20 months after my heart attack. Another heart attack. Same as mine. She was 65. Theodore called from another new number. I let it go to voicemail. Mom is gone. I know we have not spoken. I know you hate us, but she's gone. The funeral is on Saturday. If you have any decency, you will attend. I listened to it 3 times. Grandpa found me sitting in the kitchen, phone in hand. Are you going? He asked. I do not know. Do you want me to make the decision for you? No, but I'm not sure what's right. There is no correct answer here, just what you can live with. I attended the funeral. Sat in the back. Did not speak with anyone. Left before the reception. Theodore attempted to approach me in the parking lot. Wesley, wait. Don't. She asked about you. In the end, she wanted to see you. Then she should have paid me a visit when I was dying. That is not fair. You're correct. It is not fair. This journey taught me that sometimes, the hardest choices are the ones that save your life. It taught me that setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's survival. And it taught me that family is a choice, not just a bloodline. Have you ever had to cut off family, or set incredibly difficult boundaries, to protect your own well-being? What did you learn from it? I'd really love to hear your stories in the comments below. New Tabe publicly.